Welcome you all. In this video we are going to discuss about longitudinal static stability equation. Myself S. Karthikeyan, working as a faculty in the Department of Aerospace Engineering at B.S. Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. Okay. So already I uploaded the video related to longitudinal static stability equation part 1. So in this video the remaining portion, okay, so you can see the content of the video. So what are the content marked in the red color, that only we are going to discuss in this video. So that is why I am saying that longitudinal static stability equation part 2. Okay, you want to know about the previous topic, like what are the color left from the red, like in the black color you are using the topic. You want to know about that point, you have to go about you have to listen the video based on longitudinal static stability equation part 1. Okay, so apart from that I uploaded so many videos. You can check with my YouTube channel Karthikeyan Selvaraj. Here some point. So here how we are going to obtain the longitudinal static stability equation. We are going to derive the three differential equation. The first equation related to contribution of the wing, then second equation related to contribution of the wing body combination, and third equation related to contribution of the tail. Okay, so we are going to take moment about center of gravity of the airplane. So that the moment about center of gravity of the airplane depends upon these three factors. Once you are combining these three equations, that equation is called as total pitching moment equation. Okay, so in the total pitching moment equation we need to apply for the criterion. Okay, we have to apply for the criterion. So that the criterions for making aircraft will be longitudinal static stability condition. Okay, so that criterions already we discussed in the part 1 video. So in this video we are going to discuss only for wing equation, wing body equation and tail equation, then combination of all these three equations, then we are applying for the criterion condition, then we are finally getting the equation of longitudinal static stability condition. Okay, so that only we are going to discuss here. So we have to familiar with the following notation. So these are the notations we are going to follow for wing and wing body contributions. Okay, wing and wing body contribution we are going to follow these notations. So my suggestion, you spend some time on here, you make clear, you have very idea about the each and every notations and the symbols. So starting with the moment about aerodynamic center. Okay, coefficient of moment about aerodynamic center, moment about center of gravity, coefficient of moment about center of gravity, absolute angle of attack of the wing, then chord measured along the zero lift line, horizontal distance between the leading edge and center of gravity. Okay, that is called as HC. Then vertical distance between the center of gravity and the zero lift line, and then distance between the aerodynamic center and the leading edge, moment of the wing about the aerodynamic center, coefficient of moment about wing about the aerodynamic center, wing lift, wing body lift. Okay, there are two notation: wing lift LW, wing body lift LWB. Okay, then similarly wing drag, then wing body drag, then coefficient of lift of the wing, then coefficient of drag of the wing, moment of the wing body combination above the aerodynamic center, then moment of the wing body. So here coefficient of moment, okay, that is missing. Okay, here the coefficient of moment of the wing body combination above the aerodynamic center, that is missing. Okay, you have to make a correction here, not moment, because C is coming, so it comes under coefficient of moment of the wing body combination above the aerodynamic center. So here the first you are going to derive the first equation. The first equation nothing but the contribution of wing to moment about the center of gravity. The ultimate aim is you make aircraft will be longitudinal static stability. So how we are going to make longitudinal static stability? By using of the moment equation. The moment equation generally was the pitching moment. Okay, the pitching moment, up and down motion. When pitch upward direction, it is called a positive moment, and pitch upward direction is called a positive moment. Okay, so for obtaining that general longitudinal static stability equation, we need to consider wing contribution, wing body contribution and tail contribution. So this is the wing contribution equation. So we will start from here. So this is called your zero lift line. Okay, this line is called as a zero lift line. You know very well the zero lift line, we discussed in the part 1. So zero lift nothing but the line when aircraft flying based on the particular line, there is no lift, that is called a zero lift line. Okay, we discussed in the part 1. So you have to start it with zero lift line, and this is for relative wind direction V infinity. The angle between relative wind direction and the zero lift line is called as absolute angle of attack. Okay, normally alpha will refer to geometric angle of attack. Okay, that is belongs to chord line. So here in this derivation we have to consider this called absolute angle of attack. So absolute angle of attack alpha, here we are dealing with the wing section, that is why alpha W comes. Okay, alpha W comes because of absolute angle of attack for the wing section. Okay, this line is called as zero lift line, and this is called your relative wind direction. Okay, then here we are locating your center of gravity point. This is center of gravity for the airplane. Okay, this is center of gravity for the airplane. Okay, then the distance between leading edge of the wing section, this is wing section. Okay, we are in the 2 dimension we are considering. Okay, so the distance between the leading edge to the center of gravity airplane in the horizontal direction is called as HC. Okay, HC. Okay, because here normally chord line will be denoted by the distance between leading edge and trailing edge. Okay, that is called as chord line. So here we are not taking the chord line, here we are considering the zero lift line. Okay, this is line not a chord line, this is zero lift line. That is why all the parameters will be a fraction of a chord line. Okay, all the parameters will be fraction of the chord line, that is why C terms comes. Okay, so here the HC denotes the distance between the leading edge of the aerofoil to the center of gravity in the horizontal direction, HC. Now here this is a vertical direction. So vertical direction of the center of gravity from the and the zero lift line. Okay, the distance between the zero lift line and the center of gravity in the vertical direction. Here the distance between the leading edge of the aerofoil to the center of gravity. Okay, that is called HC. Then this is the total chord. The chord means based on the zero lift line chord. Based on the zero lift line chord, see from this point to this point. Okay. And another one more point, this is called aerodynamic center. So aerodynamic center located on your wing section. Okay, aerodynamic center is nothing but the point where your moment, the changes of moment will not be varying. Okay, so moment will be the independent of the angle of attack. That particular point is called as aerodynamic center. Okay, that also we discuss in your part 1. Okay, so we are locating, this is my aerodynamic center for the wing section. Okay, so see here, I am taking the moment and forces on the aerodynamic center. I am going to consider moment and forces on the aerodynamic center. That is why you are getting the symbol MACW. Okay, I am taking moment. So moment about aerodynamic center for the wing section. That is why W comes. So moment about aerodynamic center for the wing section. And same way I am considering the forces, lift and drag forces. So lift and drag forces, it's parallel and perpendicular to the wing direction. Okay, always the lift force and the drag force parallel and perpendicular to the wind direction. So that is why relative wind direction. So that is why we are getting the drag parallel to the wind direction and the lift perpendicular to the wind direction. Okay, so this drag and lift will be deviated angle alpha W. So based like this. Okay, alpha W, that's nothing but your absolute angle of attack for the wing section. Okay, so this is the your and similarly the distance between aerodynamic center and the leading edge. Okay, the distance between aerodynamic center and leading edge is nothing but HACWC. See here all the parameters connected with the chord line. So this is zero lift line. So we have to convert into chord line. That is why the chord terms C is coming to the notation. Okay. So this is the distance between your aerodynamic center and the leading edge of the aerofoil. So you have to make it very clear for the point related to the wing direction, point related to the wing diagram, because based on this only we are going to derive the whole equation. Okay, so you have to make it very clear, you are familiar with all the terms. Now the same diagram, okay, I am not making any changes, the same diagram. So what I made it here, the force, we are considering the forces on the aerodynamic center, lift force and drag force, not exactly horizontal, it's an inclined force. So just for our convenient purpose, we are converting into horizontal and vertical forces. Okay, horizontal forces and vertical forces. Okay, the same way drag also converted into horizontal force and vertical forces. Okay, so this thing is not available in the textbook. Okay, this I made it only for your reference. Okay. So once you are getting this data, it will be very easy to derive the equation. That is why I made it for you. Okay, so horizontal forces and vertical forces. So here the alpha W will be the angle. So automatically for this cases, okay, my force term will be LW cos alpha W, because angle related with the vertical axis. So automatically cos term will come here. Okay, LW cos alpha W. Similarly, this one is LW sin alpha W. So this is the vertical forces, horizontal forces related to lift. So here come here. This is for your vertical forces and horizontal forces related to drag. Okay, in these cases the angle drag, okay, alpha W related to horizontal axis. That is why dW cos alpha getting here and dW sin alpha getting in the vertical direction. Okay, so for illustration purpose only we are mentioning lift and drag acting in this way, but you have to remember both lift and drag acting on this point only. Okay, the lift and drag acting only this point. Okay, for illustration we are extending the line and we are making the forces into forces into component. Okay, resolving the forces into component. Okay, so you have to remember the lift force and drag forces acting only on this particular point. Okay, the remaining will be as usual. So what we discussed in the previous slide. Now we are going to derive the coefficient of moment about center of gravity for the wing equation. Okay, we are going to derive the wing contribution equation, especially for the coefficient of moment about center of gravity. Okay, so this is my center of gravity. I am fixing my center of gravity. Based on the center of gravity, I am going to find moment. Okay, so generally what is meant by moment? Moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance, that we have to consider. Okay, so this is also one distance. Okay, we are considering the point center of gravity and your aerodynamic center. I want to consider point center of gravity and aerodynamic center. Okay, so now we are going to derive moment about center of gravity equation for the wing section. Okay, so what I think we are going to consider? We are going to consider moment and forces. So the first we are considering aerodynamic center moment. So here is a clockwise moment as per the Anderson representation, Anderson book representation. Clockwise moment will be the positive. So first we are considering the moment, clockwise moment, so the positive. So automatically moment about aerodynamic center for the wing section will be positive. Now we are going to consider the remaining forces. So we have the four forces, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, the two component of forces from the lift force, then two component of forces from the drag force. So totally the four forces we are going to consider. So you know very well, moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. So we are going to take center of gravity as the center of gravity as a moment point. Okay, from the center of gravity you are going to find the moment. So automatically you first consider this force. Okay, LW cos alpha W, the force. Okay, the force is acting on the particular point. Okay, so the force is acting above, force is acting on the upward direction. Okay, the force is acting on the upward direction. Then we need find the distance. So we need find the distance. So the force is acting on the upward direction. Okay, so we need to find the distance in the horizontal direction. Okay, we need to find the distance in the horizontal direction, because moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. The force is acting upward direction, the perpendicular distance in the horizontal direction. So horizontal direction is nothing but the distance between aerodynamic center and center of gravity. Okay, center of gravity other plane. Okay, aerodynamic center and center of gravity. So we have a distance between leading edge and center of gravity, that is HC. Similar way, we have the distance between leading edge and center of gravity, that is HAC WC, but we don't have the distance between center of gravity and aerodynamic center. We don't have that value. Okay, so for that purpose, here you can see HC minus HAC WC, that is the total distance. The total distance minus this distance, it gives the distance between your aerodynamic center and center of gravity point. Okay, that is what we are looking. Okay, that is called your perpendicular distance. Okay, so that is why I am mentioning here the first point force into perpendicular distance. The first point you got as force into perpendicular distance. So force into perpendicular distance is making about moment. Okay, so we are considering the first force term, force into perpendicular distance, horizontal distance. Now you come to this portion, again the same vertical force, the same term to dW sin alpha W, dW sin alpha W, again the vertical force. So automatically the vertical force, the horizontal distance will be the distance. Okay, horizontal value will be the distance. The same way HC minus HWACWC, the same point. Again I am saying the drag also acting on the same point. Okay, not like this, you don't make confusion of like this. Okay, your both drag and lift acting on the aerodynamic center point only. So the distance between aerodynamic center and the CG for the horizontal direction, the HC minus HACCW, because we need to make minus of total distance minus this distance, we will get the remaining value. Okay, so this is the two vertical forces we are considered. Now we are going to consider the horizontal forces. Now we are going to consider the horizontal forces term 3. So like LW sin alpha W. Okay, LW sin alpha W is the horizontal forces. Okay, automatically the vertical distance we need to consider. Okay, from aerodynamic center, zero lift line, both are in the same line. Okay, so we need the vertical distance. So the vertical distance between the aerodynamic center and your center of gravity will be ZC, vertical distance, because we are considering the horizontal force, the force into perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance is ZC, so automatically, so LW sin alpha W will be the force term, LW sin alpha W will be the force term, and ZC will be the distance term. Okay, now we consider the fourth parameter, parameter, that is dW cos alpha W. So dW cos alpha W, so dW cos alpha W will be the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, the remaining three forces acting on the clockwise direction, that is why you are getting the positive symbol. The dW cos alpha W, when you taking about moment, it will be anti-clockwise direction, that is why coming minus. So this will be the force term, and again we need the vertical distance called ZC, the force and the perpendicular distance. Okay, each and every time the LW cos alpha W force term, then dW sin alpha W force term, then LW sin alpha W force term, then dW cos alpha W force term. The remaining bracket will be the perpendicular distance. Okay, that you have to remember. So this is the way we are getting your moment about center of gravity for the wing section equation. Okay, so here you have to make it very clear, the remaining wing body combination as well as tail combination, the same type of concept we are going to implement. Okay, the resolving the forces into two component and the same moment about center of gravity point. Okay, so until you get clear, you repeatedly listen this audio. Okay, to make this point will be very clear, then only you will be easy to covering the remaining two equations. Okay, so that is what I am saying, the moment about center of gravity for the airplane in the wing section. Now move on to the next stage. So this is the equation. So this is the equation we got from the previous slide. So this is the equation. So now we are going to simplify the equation. Okay, how we are going to simplify the equation? The alpha W value very small. Alpha W nothing but your absolute angle of attack for the wing section. So alpha W value will be very small. So automatically I can able to consider cos alpha W equal to 1 and sin alpha W equal to alpha W. Okay, I can substitute this value into this equation. I will get this form. Okay. So this is the equation previously got from the previous slide. Then I am implementing these parameters. Then I can get this equation. So after obtaining this equation, okay, I need to divide by Q infinity SC. Okay, so when I am dividing by Q infinity SC, I will get the coefficient of moment. Okay, normally you get L divided by Q infinity C, nothing but your coefficient of lift. Okay, the same way you can able to find out your coefficient of moment. How I am going to get the coefficient of moment? Moment divided by Q infinity SC. So this is our moment equation. The whole equation divided by Q infinity SC, I will get this equation. Okay, this is next stage. Okay, the previously equation substituted with this parameter, then I will get this equation. Now this equation divided by the parameter Q infinity SC, I will get this equation. Again another simplification, the z value equal to small. Z is nothing but the distance between your center of gravity and the zero lift line. Okay, so z value normally the center of gravity will very close to zero lift line, so we will consider z value equal to 0. You substitute z value in this 0 in this equation. The same way the drag value is very small compared to the lift value, so automatically the coefficient of drag also is very small, so we can able to avoid the coefficient of drag term. So see here, the coefficient of drag term I can able to avoid, and z value will be considered as 0. Okay, so again you implement these two things in this equation, you will get this particular form of equation. Okay, so this is called your coefficient of moment about center of gravity equation for the wing contribution. Okay, this is one of the equation. So coefficient of moment about center of gravity for the wing section combination. Okay, now again we need to convert the CL value into slope. CL value, we have the coefficient lift value for the wing section, that will be converting into slope. Okay, so when you are converting into slope, I will get this particular form. You can compare these two equations. There is no any change in the remaining forms or remaining terms, only the coefficient of lift for the wing section will be converted into lift to slope as well as absolute angle of attack. Okay, so that is why we are getting this form. Okay, so the both the form will be the same meaning. So equation of moment about center of gravity for the wing section. Okay, so now you consider this equation is called the equation number 1. So we need to derive the 3 equation. So this is called equation number 1. Okay, so you can get the output from this equation. This equation is purely depends upon 2 parameters. So what are the 2 parameters? The first parameter is aerodynamic center, the coefficient moment of aerodynamic center, and second parameter the lift acting through moment arm. This is called H minus HACW, called as moment arm. Okay, so these two things parameter will be decide the value of coefficient of moment about aerodynamic center for the wing section. Okay, the first equation will be over. We will move on to your second equation. The second equation is nothing but the contribution of wing body, the contribution of wing body combination to moment about center of gravity. Okay, in practical we are combining wing and the fuselage. We are considering wing and the fuselage. Okay, finding the equation for wing body combination, it's absolutely get only from practical point of view. By using the wind tunnel, by using some other method, you can able to find the contribution about the wing body combination for coefficient moment about center of gravity for the wing body combination. But theoretically it's very difficult because it involves so much of interference value. Okay, that is why what we are going to do, we are simply take the previous equation. We are taking simply take the previous equation. In the previous equation, instead of wing, you can see here, instead of wing W, COW, we are going to use the wing body. Same, almost the remaining term will be the same. Instead of wing, we are using for the wing body combination. The principle and the things will be the same like in your previous case. So this is second equation, second set of equation, that is called as a equation of wing body contribution of the coefficient moment about center of gravity of the airplane. Okay, so the first equation is over, then second equation is over. Now we are move on to third equation. So before going for third equation, again it is somewhat more concept involved. Okay, you have to make it very clear about the following notations. You are starting with V infinity. Here is infinity is missing, V infinity. So V infinity, here is infinity is missing. Okay, a small correction. V infinity, relative wind at wing, then V dash. So V dash is called as a relative wind at tail, then epsilon downwards angle, then alpha WB wing body absolute angle of attack, then IT tail setting angle, and alpha T tail absolute angle of attack, and MACT moment on tail about aerodynamic center, and CMACT coefficient of moment on tail about aerodynamic center, and LT tail lift, DT tail drag, and ZT vertical distance between the center of gravity and tail aerodynamic center point, then LT horizontal distance between the center of gravity and tail aerodynamic center point, and epsilon naught downwards angle when wing body combination at a zero lift condition. Okay, so these are terms you are going to use for deriving tail contribution about moment about center of gravity of the airplane. Okay, so there are two picture. The first picture dealing only about tail separately. Then we are going to consider wing and tail. Okay, we need to consider both the picture. This is the first picture only for the tail. Then we need to consider wing and tail. Okay, based on this picture only we are going to derive the equation. Okay, so now again come to here. Here we have to introduce a new concept, the downwash. Okay, what is the downwash? Downwash is nothing but because of your finite wing, because the tail portion is located behind the main wing. In the aircraft we have the two wing. First one is main wing, second one is a tail wing. The location of the tail wing behind the main wing. So main wing having the tendency to create the wingtip vertices. Okay, having a tendency to create the wingtip vertices. Okay, because of your the pressure difference between lower surfaces and the upper surfaces, it makes the wingtip vertices. Okay, tip vertices. So these wingtip vertices, okay, because of the downwash effect, it gives the impact on the tail portion. Okay, so because of that reason, we have the velocity, that is v infinity. The v infinity called as free stream velocity. Okay, the v infinity free stream velocity deviated with v dash, deviated to v dash. The reason is because of the downwash angle. So epsilon is nothing but downwash angle. So downwash angle epsilon, how it is created? Because of your wingtip vertices. Okay, so this makes your deviate your free stream velocity to v dash. So that is the first concept we have to consider. So the interference, the following interference subjected for the tail aerodynamic. The first one, the airflow at the tail is deflected by the downwash due to the finite wing. Okay, the finite wing having the wingtip vertices that create downwash. So because of that reason, your airflow getting deviated. Then another point, the relative wind seen by the tail is not in the same direction at the relative wind seen by the wing. Okay, I am seeing the relative wind from the wing as well as tail, but the both cases not is the same. Let's say there is some difference because of the downwash effect. And another point, due to the retarding forces of skin friction and pressure drag over the wing, the airflow reaching the tail has been slowed. Okay, because of the skin friction and the pressure drag, the airflow, the value of airflow getting slowed. That's what they want to convey. Okay, so this is a point you have to say. And another one more thing, alpha t, here alpha t. So what do you know? Alpha t is nothing but absolute angle of attack. You know very well absolute angle of attack, alpha t. So how we can define absolute angle of attack? Absolute angle of attack is nothing but the angle between zero lift line and your free stream velocity line. So here the free stream velocity not v infinity because it is deviated from the epsilon downwash angle, that is v dash. So v dash flow when we reach into your tail portion, that is called local free stream velocity. This call is as local free stream velocity. So this local free stream velocity only reaching your tail portion. Okay, then this line is called as your zero lift line for the tail wing. Okay, zero lift line for the tail wing. Normally the tail portion we always use symmetrical aerofoil. That is why your zero lift line and car line both are the same. Okay, so in these cases this line is called as zero lift line and this line is called as your local free stream velocity line. The angle between zero lift line and local free stream velocity line is called as your absolute angle of attack for the tail portion. Okay, the same way we are considering only tail portion. Okay, the lift value and the drag value parallel and perpendicular to the local free stream velocity v dash. That is why you are getting alpha dt here. Okay, drag at tail portion and lift at tail portion. Okay, is parallel and perpendicular to your local free stream velocity v dash. Okay, then same way it is deviated from the angle epsilon, that is called downwash angle. That is why you are getting angle epsilon in the vertical direction as well as horizontal direction. Okay, so these are things we have to remember while considering tail portion alone. But another one more point, the drag produced by the tail is very less, so most of the time we are considering only for the lift force. Okay, so now the same picture, so I am adding the two component. Okay, because we have the lift and drag inclined forces, so we are resolving into two component. What we did for the first case, for the wing portion, what we did, the same thing only I did here. Okay, we are making the inclined forces into two component, horizontal component and vertical component, and based on the angle we are getting the force, lift force term. So LT cos epsilon, epsilon nothing but your downwash angle. Okay, so this is the cos term, this is sin term. The same, this is a cos term, this is a sin term. Depends upon your angle availability. The cos and sin term are denoted here. Okay, so again you have to make your clear idea about this picture. Now come to this picture. So based on this only we are going to derive your coefficient of moment about center of gravity for the tail contribution. Okay, so the first line, this is called your zero lift line of the wing body. Okay, this is called zero lift line for the wing body. So we are combining wing as well as tail. Okay, wing portion as well as tail portion we are going to consider. Okay, so this is the first line you have to remember. So this is a zero lift line for the wing body combination. Okay, then similarly this is for your free stream velocity. Okay, the free stream velocity, the angle between free stream velocity and zero lift line for the wing body is called as absolute angle of attack for the wing body, alpha WB. Okay, absolute angle of attack for your wing body combination. So now we come here. So this is my zero lift line for the tail. So zero lift line for the tail, this is my tail portion, this is my tail portion. So automatically zero lift line for the tail. Okay, and this is a line is called as zero lift line for the wing body. The angle between zero lift line for the wing body and zero lift line of the tail is called as tail setting angle, IT. Okay, this is IT is called as a tail setting angle. So what is the meaning of tail setting angle? It is the angle between zero lift line of the tail to the zero lift line of the wing body combination. Okay, that you have to remember. The same way here the flow will be deviated from the V infinity to V dash, that is because of the downwash epsilon, like a previous case we discussed. So epsilon for downwash angle deviate from the V infinity to the V dash. Okay, then alpha t is nothing but your absolute angle of attack for the tail portion. It's the angle between zero lift line and your local free stream velocity, because the angle will be, the free stream velocity direction will be deviated because of downwash effect. So this is a line. So this is a line is called as a V dash line, and this line is called as your zero lift line of your tail portion. So that angle between zero lift line for the tail portion and your free stream velocity line, local free stream velocity line, is called as your absolute angle of attack for the tail portion. Okay, then this angle, how we are going to consider this angle, we are going to consider when this called your alpha t. How we are going to consider this angle, going to consider when making of alpha w minus epsilon. Okay, this angle we are going to consider alpha wb minus epsilon. This is an angle. Okay, now another term is called as a location of center of gravity. So this is for your location of center of gravity for your considering the tail portion. Okay, the whole airplane, this center of gravity of the whole airplane. When I am considering the tail portion contribution, this is my location of your center of gravity. As usual, this is my tail portion. This is point is called as aerodynamic center point. Okay, so aerodynamic center point. So I am taking a clockwise movement. When I am taking a clockwise movement is a positive direction. So that is why moment about aerodynamic center for the tail portion. This is a point, moment about aerodynamic center for the tail portion. Now I need the distance between aerodynamic center point of the tail to your center of gravity, in the vertical direction. In the vertical direction, the distance between the center of gravity to the aerodynamic center of the tail portion is called as ZT. The same way, the horizontal direction, you can see the upward. Okay, the horizontal direction, the distance between aerodynamic center of the tail portion and your center of gravity is called as LT. Okay, so you have to make it very clear all these notations. Okay, so many notations involved here. So LT and ZT. So LT the horizontal distance and ZT will be vertical distance. Okay, then remaining as usual your drag value and lift value, the parallel and perpendicular to the local free stream velocity, that is v dash. Okay, we are getting the dt and the lt. Okay, you know very well. So this is an inclined force, so I have to make a vertical and a horizontal component. Vertical horizontal component I am not showing here because already so much of data will be available, so I don't want to make it another one more confusion. So you know very well, so you have to make it a vertical component and a horizontal component of the lift portion. The same way vertical component and horizontal component of the drag portion with the angle alpha w minus epsilon. Okay, so once you are making that component, then as usual we are going to find the coefficient of moment about center of gravity for the tail contribution. So see here, this is our ultimate aim. We are going to consider moment about center of gravity for the tail contribution. So previously we completed moment about center of gravity for the wing portion, similarly wing body combination. Now we are considering for the moment about center of gravity for the tail portion. So for that we are considering the center of gravity, then the four forces and moment, like the first case. So see here the first, like first case, the first I am saying this one. So this is for your considering moment and forces. So first consider the moment. So moment about center of gravity for the tail portion, the clockwise moment automatically comes positive. Automatically comes positive. Okay, the remaining terms. So what we are considering? We are considering the LT. The LT means horizontal distance. Okay, horizontal distance. Automatically we are considering vertical force. So vertical force and horizontal distance, because that is a force into perpendicular distance makes moment. Okay, we are considering the moment. Okay, the force into perpendicular distance. You can see here LT. We are considering the LT. That means horizontal distance, automatically vertical forces. So vertical forces LT cos alpha w minus epsilon. That is the first term. Okay, the same way here also you can able to get dt sin alpha wb minus epsilon. Okay, the terms are the forces I am not showing here. I hope you are understanding from the previous cases. So in these cases the it will be the common, so that it will be taken as a outside. Okay, so we have that minus because of the moment. Okay, that is why it's a common term taking outside. The same way for your term 3 and 4. Okay, so we are taking about vertical distance. We are taking about vertical distance and automatically horizontal forces. So force into perpendicular distance, horizontal forces. Okay, so all the forces, lift forces and drag forces acting on the aerodynamic center of the tail portion. Okay, so now we can see this is my distance. Okay, this is my distance and this is my force. This is my force. LT sin alpha WB minus epsilon is the force term. Corresponding perpendicular distance is ZT. The same way this is the force term and corresponding perpendicular distance. So moment, this moment taking as a negative direction. Okay, that is why negative symbols are coming. Okay, so this is the basic equation to derive from the corresponding picture. Okay, moment about center of gravity for the tail portion. This is a basic equation. Okay, so still we are getting the clear. Again I am saying you repeatedly listen this audio. Okay, especially for this portion to make clear understanding of this particular equation. Now we are going to make a simplification. So this equation we got from the previous slide. So just I copy the same equation. Now we are going to simplification. So the following simplification we are going to adopt it. The first simplification ZT. So ZT, the distance between the CG and your zero difference will be very small. Okay, compared to the LT is very small. So we are going to omit it. The same way drag value of tail is very small compared to the lift value of the tail. Okay, that also going to omit it. Then angle alpha WB minus epsilon is so small. Okay, that also going to omit it. Okay, this will be cos sin value equal to 0 and cos this value going to be 1. Okay, that you are going to implement this equation. Then similarly moment about center of gravity is very small. Okay, small magnitude. Okay, that is going to omit it. Okay, so we are going to substitute the simplification in the above equation. Okay, so once you are substituting the simplification the above equation, you will get this equation only. Okay, only minus LT and minus IT and LT will be obtainable. Okay, this only we are going to get. Now we are going to implement the coefficient of lift tail, okay, the tail lift coefficient, that nothing but your LT divided by Q infinity ST, okay. So we are going to replace this term, we are going to replace with this term with the coefficient of lift, that is why we are getting this particular term. So automatically you replace the LT with this equation is nothing but the minus IT remaining will be available, okay. So Q infinity SI CLT will be available. So we are replacing LT, the cross multiplication, we are replacing LT with this equation and I am substituting the remaining term in the previous equation. So we are getting that MCG the whole term. After getting this one, we need to divide with the wing chord and the platform area, okay. We need to divide with the wing chord and the platform area, nothing but CS. So we have to divide the whole equation with the wing chord and the platform area. We will get this particular form, okay. So in this form LT and ST and CS is called as tail volume ratio. So we are going to replace this term with the VH, that is called tail volume ratio. So now you are bringing this equation into in this form. So now we have another form, okay. This is called your new form, coefficient moment of center of gravity for the tail contribution. We get only this particular form. So this is our third equation. This is our third equation. Like our previous case, we are replacing your coefficient of lift with your slope equation, okay. With slope equation we are replacing slope equation, we will get another form of equation. So these two equations is called as your total contribution of tail to moment about airplane center of gravity, okay. This is all three equations. So now we are deriving equation 1, 2 and 3, okay. So now we are going to derive the total pitching moment equation about the center of gravity of the airplane. So how we are going to derive the total pitching moment equation about the center of gravity of the airplane? We need to combine the three equations. Already we are combining equation number 1 and 2, that is for your wing body combination. So these two terms we are getting from your the combination of equation 1 and 2, and this term we are getting from the equation number 3, okay. So this is equation is called your total pitching moment equation. So here also we are going to replace the coefficient of lift with the lift slope, okay. The coefficient of lift with the lift slope, okay. Now we are getting that equation into this form. Again the most of your aircraft, instead of considering of absolute angle of attack for the wing body, we are directly considering absolute angle of attack for the whole airplane, okay. The absolute angle of attack for the whole airplane. That is why the wing body, the W term will be not available in this equation. You compare these two equations are both same equation. Only thing is, instead of WB, there is no W for WB here, and instead of angle of attack, okay, absolute angle of attack for the wing body combination, you are going to consider absolute angle of attack for the whole airplane. That is the meaning of this available here, okay. So then that is the only changes happening this equation, okay. After making the changes, so this equation is called as total pitching moment equation, okay. So this total pitching moment equation arrived because of your contribution of wing body and tail, okay. Now we are coming for the last portion of this video. So this is what I am saying, that instead of considering wing body combination, okay, we are considering the whole airplane. That is what we are explaining this picture, okay. So now we are going to derive the longitudinal static stability equation. So this is the last portion of this video. So we are going to derive the longitudinal static stability equation. So how we are going to derive the longitudinal static stability equation? Already we have that total pitching moment equation of the airplane. So we are considering total pitching moment of airplane. Then we need to implement the criteria, okay. The criteria we derived in the part 1 video, okay. So this is for total pitching moment equation, and this criteria is essential to make aircraft will be longitudinal static stability. So we are going to implement these two criteria to the total pitching moment equation. So I hope this will be available video 1, you remember, okay. The first you draw the graph between absolute angle of attack and coefficient of moment about center of gravity point. We are drawing the graph between absolute angle of attack and coefficient moment of center of gravity. Okay, this point is called as CMO point. So what is the meaning of CMO point? Is nothing but the value of coefficient of moment about center of gravity at zero angle of attack. So that is the meaning of CMO. Okay, the value of coefficient of moment about center of gravity at zero angle of attack, that is called CMO. So in these cases CMO fall on the positive side. Okay, CMO should be fall on the positive side and the slope going on the negative direction. So slope is going on negative direction. So this alpha is called as trimmed angle of attack. Alpha is called as your trimmed angle of attack. Okay, these are things we discussed in your part 1 video. Now we are going to apply the two conditions. What are the criterion conditions? So first condition, your CMO should be positive and slope should be negative. So how we are going to implement the CMO should be positive? You know very well, CMO should be positive. When it will be positive, your absolute angle of attack is 0. So this is my total pitching moment equation. I am going to implement alpha A equal to 0. Because I need to get CMO will be positive. When I will get CMO will be positive, my alpha A equal to 0. Okay, so in this equation I am going to implement alpha A equal to 0. Automatically this form of equation will be arrived. Okay, this is what CMO equal to 0. Okay, so CMO equal to 0. Instead of CMCG, instead of CMCG I am getting CMO because I am substituting alpha A equal to 0, because this is the criterion to make aircraft will be longitudinal static stability. So after implementing the first criterion, I will get this equation. Now we move on to second criterion. What is the second criterion? The slope should be negative. Okay, so for that purpose I am taking the partial differentiation. Okay, this is the equation, the pitching moment equation. I am taking the partial differentiation. Okay, partial differentiation with respect to your alpha A. So once I am taking the partial differential about alpha A, I will get this equation. I will get this equation. Okay, so this is a equation I am getting after applying the second criterion. Okay, so these are the two equations will helpful to find out aircraft will be longitudinal static stability. Okay, so in the cases you have to remember the VH value. Okay, the VH value is the most important parameter to make your CME should be positive, and similarly the value of H, that is your distance of your CG value also important. So these two parameters, okay, VH value and H value will be most important parameter to obtain CMO should be positive and slope should be negative. Okay, because in these cases I get the positive value. When VH will be higher, I can get the positive value because positive symbol. In these cases the slope should be negative. The same way the VH value should be higher. The VH value should be higher, automatically I will get the negative value. So this condition also satisfied by the VH value. This condition also satisfied by the VH value. Okay, so automatically when you are substituting this condition, your aircraft will be able to make a longitudinal static stability equation. Okay, so these are things will be followed to make your longitudinal static stability equation. But in this video I am not discuss about a static margin, neutral point, and similarly longitudinal static stability, controlling of longitudinal static stability. Okay, so we will see in that will be in the some other video. Okay, so this video only make you understanding of longitudinal static stability equation. Okay, I hope I tried my best, because this is one of the challenging topic to take the teacher without using blackboard. So I try my best to make you understand clearly. Okay, so as usual, my reference point, my reference, and thanks to Reduction to Flight by Anderson and some other web sources. Okay, so thank you for watching video once again.